Big red machine.
Kane remained one of the scariest wrestlers on the roster for over 2 decades, but
I respect the hell out of Kane for just keeping this aura and this like whole presence up for this long without.
Oh, what's up? Oh, what's up?
Yo, what up? It's Ahmadjay back here with another video. Today we're about to be reacting to a video by Wrestle Mafia. The video is going to be on the most feared versions of WWE wrestlers. To me, most feared is probably Kane. This nigga brought me a lot of nightmares when I was a kid, bro. Yeah, I mean, he was supposed to come off as a scary ass presence, especially the 1998 version. Jesus Christ, he was scary. I had like WWE like DVDs when I was a kid, and when I first seen him debut, I was like, oh my god, nigga, this nigga like scared the. I think I had some nightmares. I think I had some nightmares of this nigga, bro. Then the other version of him is like when he took off the mask, and bro, that nigga was ugly. Bro, he was ugly, and that shit was scary because he turned against his own partner RVD and just choke slammed him. And the other one was like a 2012 version. I seen that live on Raw, and I was like, oh my god, this nigga actually looks scary, actually like a serial killer type of thing, considering he acted and see no evil. But there's a lot of like versions of a lot of people. Boogeyman, Undertaker, just a lot of those creepy presents. Mick Foley's Mankind was never kind of creepy to me. He was kind of like a crazy person. But let's just get into it. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you like the wrestling videos, and if you like watching along and seeing these information videos. And I'm your guy. If you like wrestling videos, go check out my other wrestling videos in the playlist if you want to watch along more. And I will be on the road to 900. If you want to join, a subscription is free. Let's do it.
these are the most feared versions of WWE wrestlers, starting with 09 Orton. By the late 2000s, Randy Orton had already built a reputation as...
He wasn't that scary, but maybe a little unhinged. But I do love this time, though.
The legend killer by targeting names like Hulk Hogan, Undertaker, and Mick Foley. But in the year of 2009, Orton stopped being a wrestler and became a full-blown menace to society. It started with him taking shots at Stephanie McMahon, and it spiraled into an all-out war with the entire McMahon family. He punted Vince in the head. He punted Shane in the head. And when Stephanie ran down to check on her brother, Orton hit her with an RKO without blinking. That dragged Triple H into the story. And from there, things got dark fast. On the March 23rd episode of Raw, Orton handcuffed Triple H to the ropes and then kissed Stephanie right in front of him. That single moment had the entire...
This moment is just iconic, bro. It's iconic for so million reasons because, like, this is basically his get back. This is basically his get back from when Evolution tossed this nigga out, bro. How could you, if you really think about that, you be a wrestling fan and if you're not a wrestling fan and you don't remember that, you would think this is just pure disrespect. But if you remember and you go back, this is like actually like disrespectful and a good get back, because they did toss this nigga out of there.
Entire world talking, and to this day, it's one of the most watched clips on WWE's YouTube channel. Orton carried that same menace into the ring, winning the Royal Rumble, capturing the WWE Championship 3 separate times that year, and headlining WrestleMania 25 against Triple H. But Orton's terror in 2009 wasn't just limited to the McMahons. He handcuffed John Cena to the turnbuckle and beat him up with a kendo stick at breaking point, and then at one point, this madman literally tried to blow Cena up with pyro during their Iron Man match at Bragging Right. This wasn't the cocky legend killer from Evolution anymore. This was a cold, calculating predator who was basically the Green Goblin of WWE. Today, Randy has cemented his position as a respected locker room veteran and a sure-shot future Hall of Famer. But the terrors of 09 Orton will never be forgotten. However, while Orton's scariest version lasted for 1 year, The Undertaker stayed indestructible on one specific night for over 2 decades.
Streak Undertaker?
The Undertaker was the cornerstone of the WWE for almost 30 years. The Deadman won world titles, main evented shows, and had memorable feuds against everyone from Austin and Vince McMahon to John Cena and Batista. However, when it was the night of WrestleMania, nobody came close to the insane aura of the demon from Death Valley. Taker's WrestleMania streak began in 1991 against Jimmy Snuka and didn't end until 20...
Yeah, well, I forgot to mention that. That was like another version of Undertaker that kind of creeped me out. I was like, when I seen this version, I'm like, what the hell? This nigga look all sorts of creepy. But like, I feel like when I was like 8 to 10, this nigga was creeping me the fuck out, bro. He did his job too well, bro.
14. Along the way, he ran through dozens of opponents and never lost once. Kane fell to him twice. Shawn Michaels fell to him twice. Triple H tried and failed 3 times. Batista, Edge, Mark Henry, Randy Orton, nobody could beat the dead man on the night of WrestleMania. The streak became bigger than any championship in WWE. For over 20 years, it remained a WrestleMania tradition, and heading into the Showcase of Immortals, there was always one question. Who would step up to the dead man this year? In 2014, the answer was Brock Lesnar, and it changed the entire direction of WWE. At WrestleMania 30, Brock Lesnar stepped up to challenge The Undertaker's streak in what most fans assumed would be just another routine victory for Taker. I mean, of course, Brock was a former UFC heavyweight champion, a former WWE champion, and one of the most dominant wrestlers on the roster, but it was the night of WrestleMania, and on that one night, it was simply impossible to defeat The Undertaker, or so everyone thought. On April 6, 2014, Brock Lesnar did the unthinkable and conquered The Undertaker's WrestleMania streak. The wrestling world stood in stunned silence.
That guy's photo is just iconic, bro. This run of Lesnar's didn't make me terrified of him, but like, I mean, maybe behind the scenes, you just know you gonna have to be scared of that nigga because this nigga could really whoop your ass if he wanted to. But yeah, I don't think I've ever been really scared of Brock Lesnar like that. If it was, well, he was feared though.
Lesnar's aura of invincibility was broken, and Lesnar's dominance was just getting started. 4 months later at SummerSlam, he challenged the face of the company, John Cena, for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Fans expected a back-and-forth contest. Instead, it turned into a massacre. Lesnar hit an F5 30 seconds into the match, then just kept going, launching Cena with German suplex after German suplex, while the champion barely got a shred of offense in. Lesnar won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship and went on to destroy everyone from Randy Orton and Roman Reigns to Braun Strowman and Samoa Joe. The aura boost Lesnar got from breaking the streak and then squashing Cena established him as the most dominant wrestler on the roster, and Lesnar remained the final boss of the WWE from 2014 to 2019. But if there's one wrestler who Lesnar himself has admitted was stronger than him, it was Prime Kane.
Big Red Machine.
Kane remained one of the scariest wrestlers on the roster for over 2 decades, but his early run as the Big Red Machine in the late 90s still remains unmatched. His first appearance on October 5th, 1997, at the first ever Hell in a Cell match is still considered the greatest debut in wrestling history. As Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker battled inside the structure, the lights cut out, the music hit, and this masked monster ripped the cell door clean off its hinges.
Jesus Christ, bro. I respect the hell out of Kane for just keeping this aura and this like whole presence up for this long without like throwing away kayfabe for a long time, bro. Because a lot of wrestlers nowadays cannot do that, bro. They can't keep it up, bro. With the exception of Bray Wyatt back then, but a couple of years ago, that was the only person that can hold a T of keeping like a a creepy wrestling suspicious type of character up, bro. But like Kane, just the aura of everything, he can just keep that whole presence up through that whole time.
With his bare hands. After that, he tombstoned his own brother and didn't say a word doing it. Kane didn't talk. He didn't feel pain the way normal men did. He was simply driven by revenge and anger in a way that made him feel like a horror movie character. At Royal Rumble 1998, Kane set a casket on fire with The Undertaker trapped inside it. From there, he went on to win the WWF Championship and feuded against names like Austin, Taker, and Triple H while remaining one of the biggest attractions in the company during the Attitude Era. Even after getting unmasked in 2003, Kane continued terrorizing the roster by attacking everyone from Jim Ross and Eric Bischoff to Shane McMahon and Linda. Let me know in the comments which version of Kane you thought was scarier. But around the same time, Kane was...
which one's scarier to me? I would say version of character. This version will have to be the scariest, but I never really kind of experienced that. I was around the time where Kane got unmasked. He was scary as fuck because he started talking. His true personality, his vindictive ass personality came out, and he was just more feared. And then plus this nigga got into a whole movie, See No Evil. And he set Jim Ross on fire, electrocuted Shane McMahon's testicles. Oh God, bro. Yeah, this man was a menace, bro. To me, yeah, like I said, Ball King for sure, in my opinion. What the fuck just happened?
Terrorizing WWE, over in WCW, a different kind of monster was being built.
Okay, Goldberg.
Bill Goldberg debuted on Nitro in September 1997, and from there, he simply didn't stop winning. Most of his matches lasted a minute or two. He'd spear you, jackhammer you, and it was over before the crowd even settled into their
brutal
seats.
too.
The win count kept climbing, and eventually the number reached 173. Along the way, he ran through the likes of Kurt Hennig and Big Show, captured the United States Championship, and then, in front of 40,000 fans in the Georgia Dome, defeated Hollywood Hulk Hogan to win the WCW World Heavyweight Championship in one of the most electric moments of the entire Monday Night Wars. The streak finally ended at
It's actually wild, consider Hulk Hogan actually let him slide.
Arcade 1998, when Kevin Nash pinned him after Scott Hall blindsided him with a taser. The actual number itself has been debated for years, with insiders suggesting the real total sat closer to 150 than 173, but the impact was never really about the math. Goldberg didn't need lengthy promos. He needed a spear, a jackhammer, and about 90 seconds, and for over a year, that was the single most dangerous combination in wrestling. Years later, WWE tried to repeat the same formula with Ryback, but the copy simply couldn't match up to the original. However,
it didn't work because he was throwing a lot of jobbers, bro. But honestly, Bill Goldberg's, I would say his feared type of thing that he had was just spearing the shit out of niggas. When you toss that combo in, that's a dangerous ass combo. Man, his spears look mean as fuck. I will always bring up that one spear he did to Christian. Oh my god, damn.
When Goldberg himself arrived in the WWE in 2003, he got a taste of the golden shovel that every wrestler feared from 2002 to 2005. Handed the World Heavyweight Championship by Eric Bischoff in September 2002, Triple H built Evolution alongside Ric Flair, Batista, and Randy Orton and turned Monday Night Raw into his personal kingdom. For the better part of 3 years, he was rarely out of the title picture, and when he did lose it, he was back on top within days. Goldberg fell to him. Kane fell to him. Booker T, Rob Van Dam, Kevin Nash, Scott Steiner, and even his...
I will never forgive this nigga for Booker T, bro. That was like a one that Booker should have won. I mean, I don't care if Triple H would have got his get back probably 2 weeks or even a week later, but I still stand with the fact Booker should have won that. How they treated him, how like it just didn't feel right for like the heel to win in that. They should have gave him a good like moment right there, bro.
His own protege Randy Orton all got their turn and all came up short. At one point, Evolution held every title on Raw at the same time. Fans turned on it hard, branding it the Reign of Terror for how it seemed to bury every fresh face the show tried to build. But that resentment was the point. It made the moments when someone finally got the better of him feel special. When Batista turned on him and beat him clean at WrestleMania 21 to finally close the book on the Reign of Terror, it created one of the biggest babyface runs of the decade. But while the game buried his opponents with the golden shovel, Bray Wyatt brought a whole new alter ego that terrorized the entire roster.
Man, bro.
For years, Bray Wyatt remained one of the most underutilized talents on the roster. He could...
I wasn't really scared on this side because like I said, I was like still on the older side when he debuted this character. I was like 19 or 20. But yeah, it was really a trip in. It was just awesome to see this whole new ass character. The mask was just so good. Like I said, I would never forgive fucking Vince McMahon for burying his character like this, man.
Cut a promo, he could go in the ring, but every time he came close to a big win, creative simply gave up on him. He lost to John Cena at WrestleMania 30, then lost to The Undertaker the following year, and by the end of 2018, it felt like he would forever be stuck in mid-card purgatory. But then, Bray tapped into something far stranger. In April 2019, he resurfaced with the Firefly Funhouse, a warped, upbeat show that hid something rotten underneath, and within months, that something emerged as The Fiend. From the moment The Fiend arrived at SummerSlam 2019, you knew this was different than anything the WWE had done in the last decade. The entrance, the lantern, the mannerisms, it all felt like a nightmare come to life. He terrorized legends like Mick Foley and Jerry Lawler with ambush attacks, obliterated Finn at SummerSlam, and then set his sights on Universal Champion Seth Rollins. The mandible claw became a weapon that could put anyone to sleep in seconds, and heading into their Hell in a Cell showdown, The Fiend was booked as an unstoppable monster. That match ended in controversy when the referee stopped it early, but WWE course-corrected weeks later at Crown Jewel, where The Fiend defeated Rollins to become Universal Champion. For one surreal stretch, Bray Wyatt had built the most unsettling character WWE had produced in years. R.I.P. to the big guy.
Rest in peace,
man. But while The Fiend had his mask and Kane had his pyro, Kurt Angle proved that sometimes all you need is a mouthguard and superhuman intensity.
Peak/Perk Angle. There's another moment when he was kind of going crazy in WWE. He was like, I think he was like, he was like on some weird shit, and like he was trying to go after Booker T's wife. That was like another crazy ass one.
By the end of 2005, Kurt Angle was already a former world champion and one of the most respected wrestlers on the roster. But despite being an Olympic gold medalist with a legit amateur wrestling background, Angle was often saddled down in comedy segments that made fans forget just how dangerous this guy truly was. All that changed in 2006 when Angle dropped the comedy act, put on a mouthguard, and became the wrestling machine. Angle's matches against Shawn Michaels, John Cena, and The Undertaker, along with his stint in ECW, introduced fans to the most intense version of Angle. But then, in one of the most shocking exits in wrestling history, Angle was released that summer and resurfaced in TNA. In the six-sided ring, Angle became even more unhinged. Gone were the guardrails and safety protocols of WWE, and Angle's reckless wrestling style led to multiple classics against names like Samoa Joe and Abyss.
Don't forget the unhinged ass photo of this nigga. Grew his beard out, grew some of his stubble out, bro. This nigga, bro, that whole photo, the iconic photo of him ripping off the mask and him just standing into the bro, this character was just unhinged. And well, it wasn't even a character at the time. He was actually going through some demons actually. So for him to just actually still put on a show, man, I admire it.
Angle's own personal life was in shambles during this period, and the wrestling machine used that as fuel to channel his intensity inside the ring, giving us one of the most spectacular runs in wrestling history. Two different companies, one unforgettable run, and in both of them, Kurt Angle wasn't playing a character anymore. But if Angle terrified people with intensity, Umaga's size and face paint became a nightmare for fans all over the world. Eddie Fatu had already wrestled in the WWE as a part of the tag team 3-Minute Warning only to get released. But then in 2006, he debuted under a new name and immediately started running through the Raw roster like an unstoppable Samoan bulldozer. Ric Flair, Kane, Triple H, nobody could stand in front of this monster. The Samoan spy—
Bro, my nigga Umaga. Oh, bro. During this time, yeah, I was like, who is this? He came on as like a savage beast, bro. I feel like the moment like he kind of really had me on guard was like during the feud with John Cena, bro. That feud was actually kind of crazy. This was like the time where I like thought like wrestling was like real, for real, like real. And he had me on the edge of my seat when he was going against Cena.
And his running hip attack became signature moves, and his undefeated streak took on a life of its own. He carried the win streak deep into the year without a single pinfall or submission loss, and by the time WWE Champion John Cena had shaken off his own struggles with Edge, Umaga was the next obstacle standing in his way. Their first meeting at New Year's Revolution in January 2007 ended his streak, but only on a fluke roll-up, and Umaga made him pay for it weeks later at the Royal Rumble in a brutal last man standing match that's still remembered as one of the best of Cena's entire career.
Man.
Umaga barely spoke, barely acknowledged pain, and simply demolished whoever WWE put in front of him for 9 straight months. It's the same monster archetype Kane and Goldberg had already proven could work, but Umaga's version came with a physicality that made every match feel like a survival contest. But while Umaga relied on his size and strength, the Demon King proved that sometimes you just need to tap into something darker within yourself. Long before WWE, Finn had painted himself into comic book monsters like Venom and Carnage for big matches on the indie scene. But that idea evolved into something far more iconic when he debuted the Demon at NXT TakeOver R Evolution in December 2014. The paint wasn't just an entrance gimmick anymore, it was framed as an actual alter ego, a darker version of Finn unleashed for the—
Man, I feel like if WWE really like booked this character into something good and they didn't like let him get defeated when he was in this state, it would have been way better, bro. But like this character is still amazing. His last showing of it was with Dom, but man, yeah, this shit was just fire every time he came out, bro.
biggest occasions only, and it worked almost every time. He defended the NXT title against names like Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens, and by the time he was called up to the main roster, fans couldn't wait to see the Demon King debut on Raw. That debut came during his feud in 2016 against Seth Rollins heading into SummerSlam, where the Demon King won the Universal Championship. Years later, Finn would only bring out the persona on special occasions for matches against names like Roman Reigns, Edge, and AJ Styles. Finn has admitted in interviews that putting on the paint and tapping into demon mode is a real hassle, but there's no denying that it turned him into a wrestler who could flip a switch and become unbeatable. And speaking of unbeatable, no wrestler in WWE history might have been more unbeatable than Super Cena in 2007.
God. Hey, I'm sorry. This was only I guess this was only fear if you like literally was a WWE superstar at that stage in time, and if you were literally a fan of that certain WWE superstar, your favorite superstar was about to get buried. He was about to be done.
John Cena remained the face of the WWE for over a decade, but from September 2006 to October 2007, Cena tapped into Super Cena mode and held the WWE Championship for 380 straight days, destroying anyone who stood in his path. Be it Umaga, Shawn Michaels, Khali, Randy Orton, Edge, it didn't matter. John Cena in 2007 was simply unstoppable. This run of Cena's career divided the audience at the time, with many fans getting tired of the constant winning, but there's no denying that Super Cena and his 5 moves of doom gave Monday Night Raw its most consistent babyface for almost 400 days, right up until a torn pectoral muscle ended it in October 2007. Even after his return, we'd see glimpses of Super Cena against The Nexus, Chris Jericho, The Miz, and other names over the years, but John Cena in 2007 was the scariest version of the 17-time world champion. However, after a decade of Super Cena's dominance, a certain big dog would take this dominant champion template to the next level and turn into the Tribal Chief. Roman Reigns spent the early half of his career being booed by fans while trying his best to play a hero.
Hey, man. Honestly, yeah, this one kind of really rivals it, but like there was just nothing like Super Cena back in the day, bro. You saw him win everybody. Like I said, if you were a fan of that WWE Superstar, yeah, it was over for him.
But then, in August 2020, Reigns simply stopped appealing to the audience and tapped into his own bloodline. The Tribal Chief was born. And right from the day he turned heel in 2020 to the end of his unstoppable 1,316-day Universal title reign at WrestleMania 40, Roman Reigns...
Bro, hey, it was so cool to see Roman Reigns finally stop the little good, the little good act and, you know, just finally tap into another thing. Oh, shit. Sorry. Just finally tap into something else and finally go heel. When he went heel, bro, it was just, it was just like so damn cool seeing this. But like I said, yeah, most feared versions for me would probably be Kane, maybe the Boogeyman, but I guess this is like the fear versions of themselves. But like I still say Kane for me. It creeped me out. But yeah, there's a lot of arguments. But like I said, for John Cena, yeah, it'll be the WWE Superstars fearing him. But hey, let me know what you guys think about this. Who's your most feared version of a wrestler? But don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. We are on the road to 900. And for this video, it'll be linked in the description. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
He was the best guy around. What about the people he murdered? What murder?